What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Here to my flame, obviously. So today I've got a very interesting topic. We're sat playing some OGMW2 because we love it and it's one of the greatest squads of all time. How is he not dead? I was going to say it. But today we're going to be talking about gaming in its prime and when it was, why it was, and I just want to get your guys' opinions and give you my take on it. And obviously, from all of us being old school gamers, well, most of us that watch my channel, I wanted to discuss it with you. So, in my personal opinion, no way they've just double killed themselves, as I've called that. That's insane, dude. That's crazy. So, in my opinion, peak gaming at its physical best moment would be, for me personally, that I think overall would be 2007 till 2013. And I've thought about this a lot, why I would put that gap of why I think it was at its peak. And when I say gaming, I mean not just the games themselves, I mean quality of life after that. I mean the content made on that game, the other variables, you know, so not just like YouTube, Twitch, things like that, but like the personalities, the extra features, the technology itself, you know, new consoles, things like that. And honestly, I think 2007 to 2013 is about right, in my opinion. And let me explain why. So the first reason is the 360. It wasn't just a console, it was a platform that, I mean, it was the same with PlayStation 3, really. I never really played PS3, I didn't like it, but it's the same situation. You had two consoles that delivered online gaming like never before, and it allowed people to talk in game chat, party chat, private chat. Obviously, PS3 didn't have party chat, but you get the gist of it. And obviously, at the time, think of the games between them years. If you're a COD fan, especially, you know, you had COD 4, World at War, MW2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, and even Ghosts, if you like Ghosts. And then on top of that, you had like FIFA 08, FIFA 07, FIFA 09, like football games that everyone loved, some of the best FIFA games of all time. You had Battlefield coming out, you had Minecraft dropping, you had all these social features, like these cool, I've just mapped someone with an absolute vector of godness, my god. But, you know, all these cool features, all these, like, innovative things like the Kinect. I know it wasn't great, but things like the Kinect, things like wireless headphones becoming a thing, Astrals being really popular. You had things like Triton, all these other makes of things. You had MLG at its peak when, well, not at its peak, at its starting point going into its peak, where you had all these cool events. Like, between them years, everything was done for fun, everything was done with some kind of professionalism, but it wasn't, everything must be crisp, clean, perfect. Things had mistakes, things didn't always look clean, and that's just what it was. But I just had this conversation with my cousin. I would rather, for example, if we're talking about gaming, and I've said this before, I would rather play a game with worse graphics and the game be fun than the game have the best graphics possible and the game be dog shit. 2019 Modern Warfare as a perfect example, as I said before, prime example. But as far as, like, think of the media side of things between them years, you had Optic, FaZe releasing videos, Machinima. You had, you know, people like Zach Scott doing Minecraft and other Minecraft videos and stuff. Yeah, you've got so many different things, and just on content alone from that era, that no other era can touch it, in my opinion. You know, and this is just from COD as well, by the way. Like, let's talk about, you know, Markiplier, PewDiePie doing all their videos, Syndicate blowing up doing zombies. I completely forgot about zombies as well, by the way. How good zombies was in them years with like World at War and Black Ops 1 and stuff. So yeah, I mean, Alien vs Predator, the game on 360. You had like exclusive. You had Forza Horizon came out for the first time in 2012, which allowed you to drive all over the place. And yeah, genuinely, it was just phenomenal. And you've got to remember as well, the PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox all technically were still live. You know, you had them options to still play all these games. So you could play Halo 2 on the 360, and it was only, what, like at that point, 5 years old in 2007. So yeah, not even 3 years old, sorry. So you know what I mean? It's like, I can't even process what I'm trying to say because it's such an insane time period for games, you know. And I think gaming in general got so innovative between 2007 and 2013, and then at the end we look at 2013, we got the peak, right? We got the Xbox 360 S in like 2010, and it was cool as shit. You had the touch screen, everyone loved it. And then sadly 2012 the Xbox One comes out and it's fucking dog shit. And then ever since Xbox has gone downhill, the PS4 wasn't great, it was okay, the games sort of tanked off, and over the last 10 13 years 15 years whatever, it has just declined massively. I mean 2010 we got Halo Reach as well, by the way, which what a game that was. So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, think about midnight launches. That's when all that was really a thing. Proper big midnight launches. You had launch events. You had all the big posters and banners and stuff. There's just so much more for everyone back then than there is now. And that's why I genuinely think, and don't get me wrong, look, the early 2000s, the very early 2000s were really good for games as well. But I mean, across the board of gaming in general, I think that era is better. You know, I think you could maybe extend it to 2014, but personally I don't think it is, because at that point we're on the next gen. YouTube goes to YouTube Game or YouTube Red, whatever, and it's like premium and stuff, and you know, that's when they started bringing in the microtransactions or subscription based stuff. So I personally would stick at 2013. I don't think I would put it any higher. I am curious to see what you guys think, so let me know in the comments on that. What years do you think have the best? And again, I will happily admit there is a debate there for even expanding that date back to like 2004 or something, or even 2000. The only reason I didn't is because, like I said, if you think of overall gaming, I think with how that gap of 2007 2013 went, it was banger after banger after banger after banger, as well as across the board. You know, like 2004 didn't have YouTube, so gaming videos weren't a thing as such. You had all these different things like that. Streaming wasn't big. You know, you had MLG kind of, but it wasn't very big. So I just feel like across the board gaming 2007 to 2013 was the best. And events as well, like, and hear me out, when I say events, I mean like marketing events. How many like cereal boxes, how many like Mountain Dew, things like that used to have stuff to do with games. There was loads of them, like promotional offers that now don't exist. Like you'd have Pizza Hut commercials or adverts or whatever with Mountain Dew and stuff, and it had like Modern Warfare 2 to do with it, or adverts to do with that. Like, there was just, you know what I mean, everything was so much better because it was done for fun and done trying to make the game look as good as possible, make the fans interact more, and obviously we don't have that these days. I think the worst era for gaming, God's honest truth, is now. I would say 2020 to now. Currently, it is by far, it's not even close, it is the worst era for games, the worst generation of games, the worst generation of console, and I would even say that, you know, over the Xbox One and the PS4, and the reason I'll say that is because there is no fucking difference really. It's more powerful than the Xbox One, but I mean, the Xbox Series X, it basically uses the same fucking operating system. It's basically the same, but it's less fun. And I didn't think that was possible over less fun of the Xbox One. But at least Xbox One still had like things like Skype, things like that, and still had some kind of gaming in there. But it just feels like Xbox Series X isn't different enough from Xbox One. But at least Xbox One had some really good games. You had Forza Horizon 2, you had Forza Horizon 3, you had obviously some of the CODs like AW, Black Ops 3. But in the last, you know, since the Series X and S have come out, what games have we had? Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, I'm just talking COD at the minute. Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, you had Cold War, Modern Warfare, all the worst CODs of all time, pretty much, basically. Again, another thing, why console Minecraft? You had actual console Minecraft instead of Bedrock on Xbox One and 360, which I still to this day prefer, and I wish they would bring back them legacy ones, which they won't. So, sadness. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, with like that, I think this generation, as well, everything's going to PC, which, like, I preferred the console wars. I genuinely liked the console wars a lot because I thought it added something to it. You know, everyone was on different platforms. Everyone was like wanted to die on the hill of who they liked, and you showed support. You'd have exclusives. And I really think I thought that was a really cool thing to do with gaming. I hate the fact that everything is on PC now. And everything's everywhere. Like, yes, it's cool for being able to play with your mates on the other console. I get that, but at the same time, you're losing that exclusivity of, you know, buying something and getting a bonus for buying it. You know, one thing that a lot of people didn't like that I never understood. I thought it was cool, even when I didn't have the console. If it was like a premium game and you got access early, I thought that was cool, but for the fact that you got rewarded for being part of the community that is promoted, you know. So again, with COD, originally it was Xbox, and then it was PlayStation, where you got early access. I actually liked that idea, I really did. But I think with everything being PC now, you're taking away the community, because console is where the community really thrived. You know, especially with things like Call of Duty, for example, you know, and indie games and things like that. And obviously, indie games are on PC, of course, but like, you know what I mean? Things that were like on the 360 marketplace, things like that. And I think now that they've sort of, oh man, taken away that community side by killing console. I mean, look, we've just had the announcement, obviously, the other day about the new Xbox CEO wanted to do something with console. I doubt she'll go back and make it actually gaming related. I wish, but I highly doubt it. I mean, we'd have to beg for a miracle to see something like that. But I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, I am intrigued to see what you guys think. I do believe the years I've said, I think you can push it back a bit, but I don't think you can go past 2013, in my personal opinion. I think at that point, things just started getting really shit. And obviously, anyone, look, I'll be 100% real with you. Anybody that says this day and age is the best, I don't care how old they are insane. Absolutely insane. And I think they've been smoking too much something. I don't know. Black tar, maybe? There's no way. There is no way. This era of gaming is so predatory, so like quality, like lack of quality. So look at you cutting that corner. Lack of quality based and money driven. And quite frankly, it reeks of desperation. The entire 6 years reeks of desperation. The games suck, the consoles suck, the quality sucks, everything sucks. Everything sucks massive wang. So not interested in anyone. I mean, I'll listen to the debate, I'll listen to the argument, but I'm not interested in anyone really saying that this generation's the best. It's a lie. It's just straight up a lie. But yeah, drop a like if you agree with me, and don't forget to drop a sub if you enjoy the video. Of course, it means a ton. And I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm currently losing this game. Ow, I'm getting naded beyond repair. The guy right there, teammate, nice. I'm gonna nade this. I will end the video. Hang on, what me on? Yeah, I don't know if we're going to win them. My team aren't doing too hot right now. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wow! Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to drop a like and sub if you're new. As always, it helps out a ton. And I will catch you in the next one.